I mean, they certainly shot it really well, and when they hit some fairly tough shots, but they got great open looks, and they had so much time and rhythm, and we've had our struggles offensively, but if we're going to struggle like that defensively, be running into that many screens and be that slow to traps, that poor on ball screen coverage, then that can happen when they get hot, because we weren't able to score certainly, and they did what they wanted, whether it was post touches on the glass, and then certainly they shot it very well, but they separated quick and we couldn't reel it back in, and at the end we were just trying to play some solid basketball, and that was a struggle for us too. So that's humbling, Jeff. It really is. You look at that and you say, okay, here we go. We gotta get back to being as sound and tough as we can heading into ACC play, but it certainly leaves a bad taste in your mouth, because this will sound funny to you guys, but and people can use it however they want, but we prepared. We had 3 solid days of practice. We really did, and I wasn't expecting us to come out and perform like this. Now, Tennessee is talented, and when they play like that, they're hard to beat, but you can't get beat by that much, that bad.
Jerry.
Well, that was a lot of it, Tony, that you guys got behind, and they just were so hot. I'm not sure there's a whole lot you could do. They were so hot.
I hope it's that, but I don't think it was that. I think it was, sure, yeah, they were hot, but there has to be we were, I don't want to say lukewarm, we were just disjointed. We looked slow, we looked tired, we looked delayed in our reactions, and every mistake we made, they capitalized on. And yeah, they shot lights out. I think, what were they, 8 of 11 in the first half from 3, and it's hard to beat a team when they're shooting like that, but they really, they at least got to be contested, the majority of them, and they weren't, and that was discouraging, because they got it every which way.
I guess, what kind of three-point team did you think you were facing here tonight?
Well, I know they were, yeah, I think they were shooting like,
enough respect from the three-point
yeah, I think they were 30% from 3 or 31. Tennessee guys would know that, and I know that, but no, the way we play, I mean, if there's a guy who really can't shoot, maybe we'll be soft on him, but we try to, ball pressure is really important to us, and contested shots, even on, guys that aren't great statistically, but we couldn't even get to the shots because we were over-helping on screens, and guys we were just a step behind in every way. So it wasn't that. It wasn't like daring them to shoot, and we're shocked at that. They split our post trap. You guys have seen us do that well, and they took it to us in every way.
Wait. Yeah, it sort of dovetails into my question. Such a stark contrast from last year's game in Charlottesville against these guys. What adjustments did you maybe sense that they made?
Yeah.
You mentioned the post trap and stuff.
Well, I think they're better this year, and it remains to be seen where we're at yet, if we are. But the kid Mamam, that's I want to mispronounce his name. I say it right. He's a Wisconsin guy. I got to get it right. Mamam. So he gives them. That's 260, and you got 280 and stuff. That's physicality that they have, and we talked about it. Their motto is, we're going to draw a line in the sand and dare you to cross it physically. Like we're going to dare you, and that's kind of their mentality. And we talked about really we worked so hard on our blockouts and doing things, and they just overpowered us. They didn't shoot it like that last year. They had a little better attack on the post trap. Like they say, all right, we're going to just throw it to the front of the rim, and they split our post trap. I thought that was better, and I just think they have, they're a little bit better this year. I mean, I think they're picked high for a reason.
Tony, John Tell was not a great offensive player, so in theory, losing him might end up being an upgrade on the offense.
Yeah.
The offense has struggled this year. What is there one thing you can pinpoint?
Yeah, I mean, certainly we're not shooting well. We, again, sometimes we can play a defensive lineup, and then we labor to score a little bit. And then if we play a little more offensive, I think defensively we're not where we need to be. You've got to keep trying to find the answer for that. But our numbers are pretty much the same. I think we average a couple more points than last year. And John Tell's experience certainly helped us, and he could get turn some of his defense into offense. And actually in the game last year, he got into the lane, and they had a hard time keeping him out. We set some ball screens, and he really did. And it's kind of sometimes the way London got in there, but we're really struggling to finish when we get in there, and that's hard.
Brett. Coach, you feel like sometimes your guys are a little too unselfish?
I wouldn't say that. I think there's times they pass up. Sometimes I think we pass up shots we should take, and sometimes we shoot shots we shouldn't. So I don't know what the word for that is, but I think we've got to get a better feel. Like I said, sometimes there's a rhythm shot, take it, and we make the next pass. And sometimes we're putting our head down and driving into 3 people when then there's a next pass. And I think there's a feel to that we've got to keep working on. But I feel like sometimes we're out of sync that way.
That inconsistency, does that frustrate you since you can kind of?
Well, it frustrates everybody, yeah. I mean, I think our goal is always, hey, if someone's open, give them the next pass. You got a shot, take it. And, certain guys have green lights, but certain guys know, make the next play if it's not a 2 feet in the paint or a red zone. But we're out of sync that way too.
What kind of tone do you take with the team?
You mean from here on out or during the game?
Or,
Yeah.
You're not an angry guy by nature, but
Yeah.
do they need to be pumped up, or do you need to?
We
spread
talked.
the
I
fear
mean,
in them, or-
I've tried all different things. I have. Certainly as a coach, that's your job to try to find ways to reach them, get into them. And, at halftime, this one, we just said, listen, you got to claw and fight your way back. It wasn't this halftime, and maybe it should have been, wasn't a butt chewing. There definitely have been some. It was like, listen, who are we? This is a reality check. And we talked about that. And then each time out, it was kind of an urging and let's get after it.
And who are you?
Yeah, and that's what we got to determine who we are. I mean, if we're not playing collectively together defensively, if we're not taking the ball, getting good shots, and being stingy on defense the way we've had some success, then it's going to be very hard for us. That doesn't change. Those are the non-negotiables. We got to find other ways. We got some guys, whether it's AG and Mike, they can score a little more inside than we've had, but we've got to keep finding ways to put some points.
Maybe more than
Yeah.
I've ever seen you do that before.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know if there's an answer in that one. Like I told you that before, I don't think anybody's kind of, what did I say, disqualified themselves from not being in the rotation, but I don't know if anybody's certainly established themselves, say we got to go all the time. Certainly you look to your experience, but that is definitely.
Coach, I'm
Yes.
from Knoxville. I wanted to ask you about Josh Richardson. He's a guy that, as you all scouted, probably has not been a scorer, but did last game. He came out and had a big
Yeah.
game. What you think of him? How'd you prepare for him? And then tonight he comes out and does it again.
Yeah, I'm gonna blame my associate head coach for that. No, I'm just kidding. He coached him on the summer tour that actually Anthony Gill played on, our number 13, and and he said he's very athletic. He's more of a slasher than a shooter, but he said he's the kind of guy once he gets going, then he got a couple easier rhythm threes, and then he got going, and with his athleticism and his ability to defend and all that. When he plays like that, that makes them, I think, a whole different team. And no, did we expect him? What was he for the game? I know from 3 he was 4 for 4. What is he shooting? Isn't he shooting like 30-some%?
Just a shooter.
Yeah, and that changed it. But he played well last game, and again he's kind of that. When he adds the shooting like that, does a lot of other things too.
Take one last question.
Tony, Joe finally gets a shot to drop at
Yeah.
the first half, and then Barton hits a half-court shot at the buzzer. What do you think when that shot goes?
Yeah, I mean,
It
that's-
finally looked like you got
Yeah.
a smidgen of momentum.
It was par for the course for the night for sure. But if we're going to struggle like that to score, our defense has to be better than that, but we still have to keep finding ways to be more efficient offensively.
All right, one last one with Jerry.
Sure.
You mentioned that they draw a line in the sand, not dare you to cross it with.
Yeah.
Was that a really disappointing part of the game for you, that you guys just didn't answer them?
Absolutely. Because we knew how physical they were. We knew, they were coming off of a tough loss to an ACC opponent against NC State here. Watched that game. NC State played terrific. We played against them well last year, and you knew they were going to come out and play. And we knew that physicality. I mean, there's certain things you want to see, and I don't know. You guys tell me. It looked like we were really stuck in mud, and that's discouraging because you're not going to win many games in the ACC if you can't answer the bell in that way. And we'll get back to the drawing board and work at it. And again, I told them it's one game, but important game to.
He scored 6 points more than he scored against them last year.
Yeah, you're right. Good point. I mean but did they score 50 more than they scored last year? 40?